Hello everybody, welcome again to our channel. My name is Lonobo Fololo. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast and entrepreneur. I'm quite excited today to be bringing you this training, regarding Bitcoin and also opportunities around Bitcoin. So, before we do that, I actually want to go through, what we covered on the previous video in case you missed that one. We're saying that, Bitcoin is possibly the best innovation or invention ever since the internet. Just to go through a little bit in terms of what we covered on the previous video, we said Bitcoin is a currency, just like your rand, your dollar, your British pound, the Chinese yen, except for the fact that it's not owned or controlled by any government. It's 100% decentralized. And as you will see over the last 10 years, if you were to look at Bitcoin over the last 10 years versus other currencies, you'll find that other currencies will have lost value, whereas Bitcoin actually has, more than doubled its value. In fact, it has gone, more than 1,000 times in value over the last 10 years. So it is a currency. You can use it to purchase goods and services. As you can see, most retailers online right now, you can use Bitcoin to literally pay, for goods and services. And then secondly, Bitcoin is a commodity, or some classify it as commodity because of the fact that one, it is, got the scarce element and it's got the desirable element. So as more and more people, actually buy or get involved into Bitcoin in whatever way or form, you'll find that the price of Bitcoin appreciates. So meaning someone can buy Bitcoin, hold on to it for a couple of years, knowing that over time the value of Bitcoin will appreciate, as we have seen over the last 10 years. I mean, right now we're talking, the market cap of Bitcoin is sitting at around 178 billion US dollars. This is a new currency and commodity, that just started in 2009. So that's phenomenal. No asset class over the last 10 years has performed better than Bitcoin. And I hope you got that. There is no asset class on the planet over the last 10 years that has performed better than Bitcoin. So it is something that you want to, watch closely and probably get involved in. So the third thing we've mentioned is that Bitcoin is a payment system. So meaning if I need to send money to anyone around the world, Bitcoin is a much faster, safer, and easier way of sending money, cheaper as well, to anyone anywhere around the world. And the bottom line is Bitcoin is censorship resistant. That is very, very important. All right. So those are the top three, topics that we covered in the previous video. So now we'll get to the fact that, so what are the opportunities that are involved in Bitcoins, right? There's actually three. I want to focus on two. Let me tell you about the first one, then I'm not going to focus on one. You can trade Bitcoins. There's a lot of people who are, they use exchanges, buy and sell Bitcoin, trade Bitcoin. That's not my favorite element about it, and you will see why as I go along. But you can definitely trade Bitcoins, okay? And the second thing about Bitcoin is what we call buy and hold, okay? Buy and hold. Okay, so with buy and hold, if for example right now, one Bitcoin, let's say one Bitcoin is sitting at around 9,700 US dollars, all right? If you were to buy this one Bitcoin or a fraction of it, and let's say you keep it for 3 years, all right? Keep it for 3 years. Let's say the value of Bitcoin, of course, this is not financial advice. I'm just saying that this is possible. Looking at over the last 10 years, what has happened to the price of Bitcoin. So let's say in 3 years time, the value of this one Bitcoin, let's say it goes to, $15,000. Maybe someone is saying, is that a possibility? Of course, yes. If you were to look at, the price of Bitcoin over the last 10 years, in fact, every 3.5 years, more or less, you'll find that the price of Bitcoin normally goes up by a factor of plus minus, 15, 18 times, So this is being conservative, if you look at the history of Bitcoin. But let's just say it is. So if you have bought one Bitcoin for 9,700 US dollars, back to today's value, and in 3 years time the value of this one Bitcoin is $15,000, of course that is a very, very good return on investment. I doubt there's any investment on the planet that will give you those kind of returns if that were to be the scenario. Okay, now the second one I want to zoom in on is what is called Bitcoin mining. All right, okay, So Bitcoin mining, I will explain what it's all about. It's not, no one goes underground. There's no rock drilling or anything of the nature. I'll talk about what Bitcoin mining is. But let's just talk about a possible investment scenario with Bitcoin mining. All right. So let's just say you have invested the same amount, which is 1 Bitcoin. So you've invested 1 Bitcoin and you bought it at, as we said, $9,700 US. And you hold on to your mining earnings, meaning you don't withdraw for 3 years. Okay. So 3 years, you are getting daily your mining earnings, and let's just say in 3 years' time, you have generated from your 1 Bitcoin 3 to 6 Bitcoins. This is a great possibility, but let's just say for argument's sake, you don't get 3 to 6 Bitcoins. You only manage to earn 2 Bitcoins. Okay? And if you earn 2 Bitcoins in a space of 3 years, and the value of 1 Bitcoin is 15,000 US, then that means you'll be sitting with a net return of $30,000. Okay, so that's double what you would have made. So it's the same amount invested, same time frame, which is 3 years, but just 2 different instruments. Whereas mining, you could have easily doubled. You could have tripled your money. Anything is possible. But let's just keep it conservative. Let's say you doubled your money, and so meaning you would have made $30,000 US. All right. So now maybe you're wondering, so if that is the case, then what is this mining? It sounds interesting because all of us, we do want, a good return on our money. We want our money to work as hard as we work. So let's look at what Bitcoin mining is. Okay. So when we talk about mining, look at it this way. Let's say this is Bitcoin, right? And you've got thousands of high-powered servers all over the world, all connecting to this network. All right. So like I said, these high-powered servers, it's actually, much more complex than this. Actually, it would look like maybe something like that, something of the nature, because this is a decentralized network, of high-powered servers, and so forth. So each one is connected to the other. They're all connected via the internet. The beautiful thing is that if I've got, these high-powered servers and I'm running them at the back of my house, there's very little way of anybody knowing that I'm actually running the servers at the back of my home. So each server does not know where the other is, and that's not important. Okay. So what do the servers do? One, they secure the network of Bitcoin. I remember at some point, I'm not 100% sure with the stats right now. I remember at some point, the network in terms of the computing power, if it was compared to your normal supercomputers out there used by, governments and research institutions, you would need those computers, 80,000 times to get to the same computing power of the network of Bitcoin. And I am aware of the fact that, over the last few years, the network of Bitcoin, in terms of its computing power, it has gone up quite considerably. It's growing, almost on a daily basis. So these computers secure the network of Bitcoin. So if you ever hear, any headlines saying that Bitcoin was hacked, Bitcoin can never be hacked. The only thing that does get hacked from now and then, if people are not careful, is exchanges. What are exchanges? Exchanges are simply institutions or companies that allow people to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. So if their security is not 100% safe, then they can get hacked. But the network itself can never get hacked. It is impossible. Okay. So the second thing these computers do is they power the network of Bitcoin, right? It has to have, some hardware powering the system somewhere. So that is what these high-powered servers do. And then the third thing, which is very important, is they verify transactions. Okay. So this is what happens. Every 10 minutes, all transactions of Bitcoin happening all over the world, whether someone is in China, India, Pakistan, doesn't matter where the person is. All those transactions get recorded together in what is called a transaction block. As long as they occur in the 10 years, they get recorded together in the transaction block. So that will be, your transactions. So the guys who are called miners, I think right now we have about 18 mining pools, 18 mining pools globally. So what those guys do is they literally compete every 10 minutes to see who is actually going to verify this particular block of transaction first, and whoever does then get what is called a block reward, which is the newly generated Bitcoin. So if at this moment there was 0 Bitcoins and one miner successfully verifies the block, verifies the transaction and so forth, that miner will then get a reward of currently 12.5 Bitcoins. So meaning after 10 minutes, there will be now 12.5 new Bitcoins in circulation. Of course, that particular miner would have received them for the reward of the job that they have done. All right. So what they do with those Bitcoins, that's entirely their prerogative, because it's actually their money. All right. They will possibly, service the machines, buy the latest machines. They will, pay for electricity and stuff. And whatever the case is, that's what's going to happen with those new Bitcoins. So it was not always 12.5 new Bitcoins every 10 minutes. Like I said before, that, when it comes to Bitcoin, it's literally designed so that it is deflationary. Okay. It appreciates in value over time. So going back to how these new Bitcoins actually come into circulation. Now, when Bitcoin started in 2009 on the 3rd of January, it was 50 new Bitcoins, given to the miners as a block reward. Then 3.5 years later, it auto-reduces. This is all part of the programming, or the coding of Bitcoin. It reduced to 25 new Bitcoins per 10 minutes, and is currently sitting on 12.5 new Bitcoins. So meaning every single day today, we get 1,800 new Bitcoins coming into circulation. Only 18 companies are competing, or 18 mining pools are competing for those Bitcoins. All right. So next year around May, June, what's happening? We have another halving event. This is very, very important for the entire Bitcoin community, as it means one of the two things. So it's going to go to 6.25 new Bitcoins every 10 minutes. All right. What normally happens after that? If you've got any commodity where the demand of that commodity is, doing this, going up and down, but the trend is going up, but all of a sudden the supply is now, cut in half. What do you think is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin, of that commodity? So the price of that commodity will normally follow exactly the same trend. All right. So what is the entire community expecting next year? Just like all the other, previous two halvings we had, the community is expecting the price of Bitcoin, to pick up in pace, because there's actually much more talk around Bitcoin right now than it was over the previous two halvings. So we're expecting, another bull run to possibly come next year around May. So one has to position themselves for, that eventuality. Right. So Bitcoin mining, this is why. Remember I said with Bitcoin mining, you could have received, you can get 3 to 6 Bitcoins over the next 3 years. And worst case scenario, we said you'll get 2 Bitcoins. If you get 2 Bitcoins, that's the result you will get. Now, how does one then start Bitcoin mining? There's what we call solo mining. There's what we call pool mining. Solo mining would mean you buy your own equipment, you run your own equipment, make sure that you've got enough electricity, great cooling equipment and so forth. It is quite an expensive exercise, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can get your fingers bent quite badly. So that is why, personally, over the last 3 years, I've been mining with pool mining. And I'm happy to present to you, this new opportunity, pool mining, where, we've got, the best of the best in the industry running this mining equipment, with the company called Mining City, running the equipment for us. And all we do is every single day, we do get a share of the Bitcoins that are mined. Okay. So what we do is we contribute to the computing power of the company. So meaning the money that we buy computing power with, they literally go and buy more, computing power, and with that, the bitcoins that are mined then are shared with all the investors. So how does it work? There is basically 4 entry points, as I would call it. We've got a package for $500. So what does this package entail? Okay, what this package entails is, 1, you will then start earning after 10 days. So there's a 10-day waiting period. Okay, 10 days waiting period. And then after that, you will get paid for 1,100 days. That's a long time of you getting paid, bitcoins. And so the 1,100 days, that is if you do not contribute, a portion of what you are earning to buy more shares in the pool. So if you want, you can sell it back, sell it on 0% reinvestment, and that means your contract will then run for 1,100 days. Should you be like me, want to get paid for as long as Bitcoin mining is profitable, you then want to take a portion of what you are earning, of which that's all your prerogative. You can set it on 30%, 40%, 50%. It does not matter. It's entirely your choice. So you are in control as far as your money is concerned. So you get paid for 1,100 days. All right. So, and what you are getting for your $500, you are getting 5 terahash. Okay, getting 5 terahash per second. That's your mining contract. The beauty with this particular company is that, your mining contract that you're buying, okay, your computing power, this stays the same for the entire duration of the contract. So meaning, if there's a million people joining after you, it does not affect you because your contract remains for the entire duration of your contract. Okay, which is a very, very good thing to have. So, and then the second one would be, this is what we call the bronze package, which is $1,000. And then we've got what is called the silver package, which is $2,000. Right. And then we've got our flagship, which is called the gold package. It's $3,500 US. What that simply means is that if you buy this package, you will then be earning from your 500 from your standard package. You'll also be earning, from your 1,000, you'll earn it from your 2,000. So you'll see on your statement that you will get paid 3 times every single day. All right. So basically, you'll find that in terms of the computing power, everything stays the same. The waiting period, the amount of days you're gonna earn, but the computing power for this one, it will be double. So meaning for the bronze package, you are getting 10 terahash, and then for the silver, you are now getting 20. And then for the gold one, you are now getting 35. Okay, meaning you are getting 7 times whatever you will get for the first one. All right. So what's lovely about this is that we've got a third-party site that we are using. So if you go to our website, I'll put the link below. If you go to our website and you're looking at buying maybe either package, you can go where it says calculate my mining earnings, and it will take you to a third-party site called Crypto Compare. Most of you might be familiar. It's a third-party site that people use to check in terms of profitability. If they intend to mine Ethereum, Zcash, Monero, Litecoin, they can go in there and say, I've got this amount of computing power, this is the cost of my electricity, and it will then tell you how profitable that coin is to mine with that information that you actually gave the site. So same way here, it will pull up from our website, the input in terms of that particular pool that you're buying. It will then tell you the profitability. So meaning you can then see how many bitcoins it will generate per day, per week, per month, and per year. It will then tell you, based on today's value, how much is that, corresponding US dollar value for, for your daily earnings, from your weekly earnings, your monthly earnings, and the year. So it is a great tool to have, so that people can see what they're literally getting themselves into. All right. So that's the first part. That's how you get involved. I've been involved right now. with this company. The results are phenomenal, you know, and I've seen the mining facility based in Kazakhstan, you know, 4th cheapest electricity in the world, you know, high-tech facility, you know, so very favorable electricity rates, you know, very favorable you know, equipment, you know, contract with the suppliers, so the input cost is actually quite low. That's why we are very profitable. But you know, as they say, the proof is in the, you know, is in the eating. So get involved, and so that you can see for yourself what this company can actually do for you. Cheers.
So now that you have known about Bitcoin and the various ways that you can use to actually make money with Bitcoin, so you might be wondering, what kind of business are we into and how do you actually make money in our business? The number follower is going to break it down for you, the compensation plan and how you get paid with this new opportunity. Stay tuned.
Now who can stop me? I'm in the zone. Competition's none in a league of my own. All about the
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Lolo, cryptocurrency enthusiast. So in the previous video we spoke about Bitcoin, you know, the fact that Bitcoin is, you know, one of the best inventions since, you know, the invention of the internet, and how you can get involved, how you can, you know, either mine Bitcoin or you can buy and hold. Now I want to tell you about the third element, and that third element is, you know, another way of you to make another stream of income. This is what has worked for me over the last 3 years. I mean, this element that I'm going to tell you now, it has literally changed my life. You know, I'm talking here from, you know, zero income, you know, to a couple of hundreds of thousands of dollars of income a month. So I'm going to share with you exactly how I did it. I'm going to show you how it's done, and I want you to pay close attention, as this is where money is actually made. All right, so just a brief background. I was in real estate. I bought a real estate franchise, cost me, you know, $10,000. That's about 150,000 rands here in South Africa. You know, I bought this franchise. The only thing I got with the franchise was just simply the name, you know, because it was a service industry. I literally gave them a market that they did not have, because I was operating in an area where the franchisor has never operated before. So I literally gave them a market. So the sad thing about this is that, you know, even if I did not sell for whatever month, you know, for whatever reason, I still had to pay the minimum royalties. And if I did make sales, I needed to pay 10% of that, you know. So imagine if you were to be given a business opportunity. Someone did all the research and development for you. Someone built the brand. Someone, you know, did all the contracts with the government, you know, the power producers and everything. Everything is just done for you, you know. The coding, the programming, everything is done for you. You know, I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars, you know, in research and development to actually come up with this product or service. And the only thing you had to do was simply go out there and share with the people how they can actually get involved in Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, and for that you then get compensated. So it's like a franchise without the franchise fee, you know, no royalties, no nothing, but you get to work, you know, on a business model that someone actually developed for you. All right, so in case you're wondering, you know, this particular company, Mining City, has combined two of the most powerful, you know, business instruments in the 21st century. That is, one, Bitcoin mining, as we have said, and secondly, network marketing. Yes, network marketing. So for those of you not familiar, network marketing is one of the industries that generates far more millionaires than any other industry on the planet, you know. I'll give an example. I mean, last year, the industry actually did $189 billion worth of sales. On average, 40% of that get paid to distributors, you know, of which I'm one of them. So we're gonna show you how it's done, especially with this particular company, Mining City, where the product is Bitcoin mining. All right, so there's actually 5 ways we get paid. I'm just gonna show you probably 3, and I think the 3 will actually cause you not to sleep tonight, and that is my goal. That's my hope, you know. So the first way we get paid, this we call plan 1. Okay, first way we get paid, this one pays us between $200 and actually $2,400 per day. All right. So how does this work? When you become part of the business, you buy your own plan, whether it's a standard, gold, silver, bronze, does not matter. We place you on what is called the citizens tree. So the citizens tree is actually a binary tree. So that will be yourself. You'll have your left leg and you'll have your right leg. All right. So now, even if you're saying to me, you know what, my friend, I just want to be an investor, I'm not interested in building a business, I've got other things for me going, it's perfectly fine. But you still have to place you on the binary tree, and in other way, you can benefit one way or the other. So, anyone who then happens to be part of your tree, right? Someone that you did not sign up, someone who just joined, maybe your upline signed them up, whatever the case is, but then they are placed beneath you, you will then get, credits. So if someone then buys, the standard plan, you will then get 1 credit. So if someone buys the bronze plan, you will then get 2 credits. Someone buys the silver plan, you will then get 4. But then if someone buys the gold plan, the gold plan will then give you 7 credits. So in this case, let's say that yourself, you happen to love network marketing, you want to get involved, and you then happen to, let's say you sponsor 2 people, one you place on the left and one you place on your right, and both of them happen to buy the gold plan, right? So that will mean you will then have 7 credits on your left, and you will have 7 credits on your right, all right, for the 2 plans. Now, what does it take for you to get your $200? You need to have at least 5 credits left and 5 credits right. So in this case, you've got more than 5. So what's going to happen at 9 o'clock in the evening? The company will then minus 5, and you are left with 2 credits. I'm just going to take them, and place them here. You're left with 2 credits, and this side you're left with 2 credits. What do you get in return? You then get Bitcoins that are worth $200. Remember I said, if you are only getting involved now, it means you have missed, the first decade of Bitcoin. But this is actually a plan for you to catch up and earn more Bitcoins faster, all right? So you'll get $200 worth of Bitcoins for the day. Now, if you are like me, you're motivated by money, and you go out and you look for other people who also want to get involved, who want to earn passive income, and let's say you sign someone else, right? And they happen to also buy what we call a tripod, meaning this guy takes 3 positions, right? And all 3 positions, this guy, let's say he happens to buy the gold plan. So meaning there's going to be 7, 14, 21. Okay, so that's plus 21 on your right hand side. Now you've got a total of 23, right? 23 credits. So this side, let's say you sign someone up who also buys the gold plan. So meaning you have an additional 7. Now you've got a total of 9. So what then happens if nothing else happened for the day? Later on in the evening, the company will come and they will minus 5. You're left with 4. This side they will minus 5, and you're left with 18. What do you get in return? Your second $200 worth of Bitcoins. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my favorite ways we get paid, because a lot of magic can happen here. Now, you will see only from yourself going downwards, but there's literally a lot of other people above you that you don't even see. So you might get into a position where some of those people that you don't see, maybe they need to sponsor someone and they need to place them, where you are. So if they place someone here who then buys, our favorite plan, which is a gold plan, meaning what's going to happen is this guy will get the same credits for this guy. Does not even know this guy, does not even know where he lives, has not spoken to him, but they will get the benefit of what your upline has done. So meaning he then gets 7, this one gets 7, you also get 7. So on top of your 4, 7 will be added, and now you have 11. All right. So Everyone who is in this line, all the way to your sponsor or the person that plays, this person will get, what we call spillovers. All right. So, meaning you did not do anything this particular day, but someone on top of you actually sponsored someone. Now you've got 11 credits. So what happens, later on in the day, in the evening for that particular day, the company will -5. You're left with 6, -5, and you're left with 13. What do you get in return? Your third $200. Okay. So you then go back to this particular person here and you say, look, dude, this is what I've made, $600 over the last few days. It's happening, and a lot of people have made even more than me. So you might want to take this thing seriously. So let's say this particular person happens to sign one person, and this person buys the gold plan. So meaning this particular person will have a 7, So if you see here, this guy had a spillover 1, 2, and both of these people bought the gold plan. So this guy literally has 14, on his left hand side. So what's going to happen, that particular day? The company will -5 on either side. He will be left with 9. He'll be left with 2. What's going to happen? He will then make his own $200. All right. So, like I said, the maximum you can make here is $2,400. So, for that to happen, you need to rank up, because your maximum allowable per day, if you are just starting up, you're just a citizen, you can then make up to $800 a day. So meaning if somebody joins on you already got 13, somebody joins, they buy, let's say, another 5 or another 3 of the gold plan, so that will be another 21 added, so you will then have 34. So something happens exactly the same with this side. Someone buys what we call a tripod, which is your 3 gold plans, and you get on top of your 6 that you had. Now you get another 21. Now you've got a total of 27. So as you can see, that will be more than your maximum cycles allow, because you can have 20 left and 20 right, which will give you $800. So as a citizen. So in this case, you have 2 credits more. Those credits will sit there, you will not lose them, meaning you will then get your $800 worth of bitcoins, and you'll have 2 left on the other side, okay, and you'll have a couple left on the other side. This is your cycle bonus, paying you between $200 and $2,400 US. All right. So the next one is linked to this one. This is also my favorite, because it then speaks to the limit you can have on the previous one. Like I said, is $2,400 a day, but in this one, there's literally no limit. Okay, how does it work? Now, anyone in your binary, in your citizen tree, anyone who then makes $200, the way I explain it to people is, it's almost as if the system, assumes that there's something you did to help that person to get the $200. So you get what I call a thank you bonus of $10. All right. So the reason why I love this one is, if I work with my team and all of them make $200, then I get 10. So, it's a fair exchange. They get 200, I get 10, which is very, very nice. Now, picture it this way. If I've got 50 people, I've grown my business to 50 people, and the 50 does not mean I've signed up 50. I could have signed up 10, and out of the 10, 1 could have signed up 3, who signed up 1, who signed up 3, but in total, I've got a total of 50 people in my business. If all of them make $200 a day, so that means I'm getting, and they do this for the whole month, by the way, okay, 30 days, that means I'm getting $10 times 50. So the $10 multiplied by 50 people in my organization, all of them making $200, so I'm getting $10 multiplied by 50. If they do this for 30 days, this means I get $15,000. Remember, I said on the previous one, your maximum is how much? Is $2,400. So if I'm getting $15,000 here, so what do I want to happen in my business? I want as many people as possible to earn their $200. Why? Because this is my goal. All right, this is my goal. So imagine if you were to go crazy, of which that's my vision, and you X this by 10, 500 people. Is that impossible? How many people do we have in the African continent? Over 1 billion. How many people do we have on the planet? Over 7 billion. You know? So, 500 people, that's not a lot. That's not even a 0.1%, you know, of the population of the planet. So, this is perfectly possible, you know? So, that could be the second way we get paid. Now, the third way we get paid, this is what we call the plan bonus, all right? So, person number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You then get paid 5% of whatever plan they choose. For example, if someone in here buys the standard plan, which is $500, you then get $25, you know, direct commission. And this is now called your team. It's called your team A. And then from person number 6 all the way to infinity, you know, it can be 1,000, you know, that's called your team B. So anyone in your team B, you then get paid 10% referral commission. Okay? So now what's very important to note here is that these people, right, if they sponsor their own people, so from here, right, you get 0. But this is where the magic is. From your team B, when person number 6, for example, this guy signs his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right, that's his team A, and A. So you got 5% for your team A. He will also get 5% for his team A. Okay, but then to complete the 10%, what's going to happen to you? The other 5% will then come, you know, to you. So you get the other 5%. So even when person number 7 signs his first 5, which is his team A, you then get 5%. He gets 5%. So it will always be like that. So that's your B of A. All right. So now, so that's the third way we get paid. If we then go to the fourth way we get paid, and I'll end it with this one. So the fourth way we get paid, so if people do what is called a reinvestment, all right? So meaning, remember I said you can get paid for 1,100 days, or you can get paid for a very long time as long as Bitcoin remains profitable, Bitcoin mining. So you will then have to have a portion of your earnings that you're putting back to buy you what is called partial shares, okay? So now, remember you had team A and you had team B, all right? So your team A was number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then your team B was 6, 7, 8, all the way to infinity, all right? So when this particular team reinvests, whatever percentage they reinvest, you get 10% of that, all right, as your recurring commission. And then from here, if these people reinvest, you then get 20% of their reinvestment, all right? So this is very, very good because the very same day they reinvest, you get your commission paid into your wallet the very same day. So you don't wait for some distant day, you know, and then get paid. And everything is done automatically. It's paid into your wallet, okay? So this is now the fourth way we get paid. So now I want to go to the leadership bonuses. So what we have, everyone starts off as a citizen, all right? Then you can then grow your business and just some of the requirements. For you to move from citizen to be a builder, you need to have sales volume of $10,000 and you need to also have sponsored at least 5 people, all right? So what then happens is, as a builder, you can then cycle up to 5 times a day. Okay? And as a developer, city developer, you can cycle up to 6 times a day. And as a city manager, you then get to cycle up to 8 times a day. Then if you rank up to be a chief manager, right, you can then cycle up to 10 times a day. And then if you become a mayor, you can cycle up to 12 times a day. Now, on top of that, this is what I am so excited about, is once you become a city manager, there is a total of $5,000 that is paid for reaching that rank. Okay? And once you get to the chief manager, you then get paid $50,000, right? The company would love you to buy a car, you know, that you can show off to everyone, you know, your success, but that's your prerogative, you know. The money is paid into your account, you do whatever that you want to do with it based on your current needs. That's $50,000. Now, once you become a mayor, as a mayor, you then get $100,000 as a bonus. $100,000 as a bonus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's fantastic. So far, we've got 2 mayors in the business. You know, they've been paid their $100,000 plus another 1,500 holiday bonus. So it is amazing. Yes, the company would love you to buy a beautiful car that you can show off to the world. But then again, it's your business. You will do whatever that, you know, you want to do. But, you know, once you get to this rank, you know, that 100,000 is possibly what you are earning in a space of, you know, less than a month. But it is an additional bonus that you'll get on top of what you'll be getting on a daily or monthly basis. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get started, click on the link below, and we'll show you a tutorial as to how do you open an account. Everything that you'll need to know, we'll guide you every step of the way. We have one of the biggest teams, you know, in Mining City called Team Fox Coin, and at the end of December, end of November, we're actually going to Dubai, you know, as a team. We are a global team. We've got people, you know, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Kenya, Nigeria, you know, Dubai. So it's gonna be a global melting pot. We're gonna be meeting in Dubai. Hopefully, I'm gonna see you there. Up until then, see you. Cheers.